to be in this session today. But before I continue, I just want to confirm that you can all hear me and I will know that I am audible enough and we are good to go for the session. So please, can you drop a yes in the chat if you can hear me? All right, nice one. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. And welcome to today's session once again. My name is Ebele Daffy, and I am a Growth Internship Associate at 10Alytics. And with me today, I have the Senior Data Associate at 10Alytics, which is Aise. Hello, Aise. How are you doing today? Good evening. Good to have you on the call, as always.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ebele. Hello, everyone. I'm Aisha Sagmalaho, a Senior Data Associate with 10Alytics. And of course, I know we are all here to take a look at how we can actually apply these skills we've been hearing about. That's the different programs, the data analytics, the financial analytics, the HR analytics, the cybersecurity, the business analysis, the data engineering, and the Scrum Master. So we want to see how we can apply these tools in real life scenarios. See people that are already doing it, just after joining the program shortly. All right. So just stay back, relax, and it's definitely going to be a wonderful session tonight. Thank you very much, Ebele.
All right. Thank you very much, Esosa. It's always lovely to have a session with you. So before I continue, I would just want to give a brief introduction of what we do at 10Alytics, what makes us stand out as the top notch and the top most seekable educational company, tech educational company across the globe. So let me share my screen. Please confirm that I can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, Ebele.
Lovely. All right, everyone, welcome once again. Today, we are going to be doing project showcase. Before we dive into the session, I would just like to give a brief overview of what we do at 10Alytics. So, okay, 10Alytics is one of the most seekable tech educational company across the globe. And not just that, we have areas, and what makes us stand out, and the mission is very simple, is to help more black community and also Africans to learn premium tech skills and lowering the entry barrier into technology in areas such as data analytics, business analytics, data engineering, data science, and so on and so forth. And we pride ourselves in equipping our students with the best and the 1% of 1% of facilitators across the world. We work in companies such as Apple, Microsoft Word, McKinsey, and the 4 big accounting companies. And also today, according to a Nigerian guest, say that today is evidence choke, meaning that we're going to see what we do behind the scene, not just coming here, but what our students do behind the scene. Please allow me to welcome also the founders of 10Alytics, Efemina Ibrok, and also Adeza Suleiman. These are the co-founders of 10Alytics, who has over 10 years of experience helping Nigerians, Black community, Africans across Nigerians to learn tech and also to transition from the classroom to the work environment. So we'll now dive proper into the session. On my first list today, I have the data analytics program, and the first person we have Toyin Ban. Hello, Toyinba. I hope I don't murder your name. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's Toyiba.
Toyinba, I'm so sorry. Good to have you on the call.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you want to share your screen with us?
Okay, sure.
All right.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Mhm. Okay, so should I start with the presentation now?
Yes, you can just tell us a brief about yourself. Give us your
Oh,
introduction. How
okay.
you joined the club.
I'm
Yeah.
Toyiba Hamza. I said
Okay.
earlier on, I'm Toyiba Hamza, and I'll be presenting about Ray Gadgets. Data analytics student at 10Alytics, currently January cohort. So I just started, but I've been able to like build some dashboards, work on data so far. So this it's one of the projects I worked on recently. It's a Power BI project, Ray Gadgets. It's an electronic company so we are looking into the data-driven insights for their profit optimization.
Okay.
So moving on to the introduction. Sorry, I want to like try get rid of these parts so that it will be so obvious. Sorry, a moment, please. I need to hide this. Okay. I guess you can see the full screen now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so Ray Gadgets, it's a leading technology distributor. It continues to shape the electronic industry landscape, leveraging cutting-edge products and serving a diverse range clientele. It stands a beacon of innovation and reliability in the market. This Power BI project focuses on conducting a profitability analysis for Ray Gadgets Electronics from 2015. Then the objective is to clean, analyze, and derive insights to address specific challenges and empower stakeholders with informed decision. Then the purpose of the analysis, it is meticulously crafted to automate, diagnose the month of May, and monitor the profitability analysis flow of the company. So we focus on the KPIs, which were the total number of transactions, total quantity sold, total revenue, total profit, and the total margin. So the analysis aims to provide actionable insights for strategic decision making. These were the KPIs generated to look into the analysis. Then for the Power BI analytics, the Power BI and the analytics tools, so we're ranging from data gathering, Power Query, data cleaning, data modeling, data analysis expression, data visualization, Power Navigation and button, business reporting, profitability optimization, deployment to Power BI service. Then the data modeling. One fact table was created and 5 dimension tables were created, which included the calendar table aimed at enhancing the data model's performance through the utilization of DAX functions. Then each dimension table's primary keys were linked to the corresponding foreign keys in the fact table, which established a one-to-many relationship. This model follows the star schema data model. Based on what was explained earlier, this is the facts table. This is the facts table. And these are the dimensions table. So from here, we could see it follows the star schema model. Then this is one to like many relationship. If we looking at the dimension tables, we could see there are a certain unique identifier, which we regard as the primary keys. Well, for instance, here we have the location ID. It is the primary key here. Then having it on this facts table, it serves as the foreign key. Same thing to this calendar dimension table as well. We have the date is the one relating to the date here as well. So it is the primary key here and the foreign key here. Then the category table, we have the category ID linked to the category ID here too. Then here, customer ID, then to the customer ID, product ID to the product ID. After my whole presentation, I'm going to like show you the dashboard itself for you to like relate properly. So this is just the presentation slide. Then moving on to the data visualization, data visualization. The dashboard itself has like comprises of like 3 pages, which is the summary, the diagnosing May, and the profitability analysis. So we would be seeing like different visualization ranging from the card visuals, which reflects the KPIs, then the bar charts and the pie charts, which shows the analysis of the product and categories. And it's like facilitates the understanding of the performance metrics across the segments. Then we have the line graph. The line graph was used to illustrate the seasonal trend. Then the field map showing the geographical analysis. Then the navigation button to navigate the 3 pages, I said earlier. So now moving on to the insights proper, the historical performance over the period under review, it is noticed that Ray Gadgets has sold high and has like sold like 11 million products, like the quantity sold, and has like 7 billion in revenue, which has 33% profit margin. Then when we look at the product profitability, looking from here, when it comes to the transaction, the frequency of the transaction, like the frequency rates, the rate at which people like walk into the industry to demand for the particular product, we could see that smartphone, laptop, and digital camera like had like the top most frequently demanded products for the company, as seen on the charts. Then the customer loyalty, looking through like the different customers they have, it is identified top 5, these are the top 5 customers fostering like the profitability of the company. When we look at this first customer, it's the total purchased amount, it's like what total purchased amount worth of goods is like 4.9 million. Then looking at this 3.5, then 1.6, 1.6, 1.6 respectively. So it showcases the company's commitment to fostering their long-term relationship with these their loyal customers. Then we have here now we want to like diagnose the month of May. When we look like at these, comparing this May analysis to this April analysis, these the visualization here is the tree map visualization used. That's why we're able to compare the years. We could see the total profit for each year. And from the analysis here, we could see the total profit for May is 501 million, as seen here, 377 million as compared to May, which is April, which is 501 million. We could notice the drop in the profits as against May. Then now looking at the breakdown, trying to like analyze what really happened, what transpired between the months, we could see that in May, communication is like $135 million. As regards April, it increased in May and April dropped to April was around 128 million, but there was an increase in May. But when we look at the other categories, we would notice that is where the drastic fall occurred. We could see in display, it has like 333 million compared to display in May, which is like 280 million. The leisure, 30 million. In May, it was 19 million. Then video, 9 million. And in May, it was like 4 million. So we could see that the drop was as a result of the other categories. Then looking at the trend, now I want to check the trends based on the profit margin. Based on the profit margin. Here, we are checking it based on the months. So we could see that there is a sharp increase in March. March, the profit margin in March is around 37.5%. As regards the next one that is higher, which is May, 33.2. The total profit margin for the company generated was like 33%, And seeing this, it shows like the company's operational cost might be a drive influencing the profit margin when we observe it like the months, because if we observe March has an increased profit as well, which is 448 million. And it has, it's followed like that to the profit margin. But when compared to April has 501 million, which is higher than March. But here there's a drop of like 30.2. So like 30.2, the profit margin, which shows that the company might have like incurred like a higher operational cost in April compared to March and compared to other months. Even like checking May that has like a reduction in the total profit margin, the total profits compared to April, yet it has like a higher an increase in profit margin compared to, so seeing it, it shows like there's a fluctuation in the operational costs over the month period. So it's the operational costs contributed to like the profit margin differences across the months. Then looking at the category analysis, the display category, which like comprises of the smartphone, the laptop, it emerges as the revenue powerhouse for the organization. Because this pie chart is showing the revenue percentage based on the category. So the display category has generates the highest revenue for the company, then followed by the communication, then the video and the leisure. So it constitutes like 57% of their product portfolio. Then moving on to the quantity sold. Analyzing the quantity sold, this reveals a fascinating trend. It shows that there's like a synergy between, it shows there's a synergy between the demand and the quantity demanded and the profitability. Because when we say the order range, like 0 to 300, profits ordered for like on the increase, and same to reflect for the, it reflects for the profits as well, So moving on to the recommendations. The marketing efforts, the company's strength lies in their sales of laptops, smart TVs. So marketing efforts should therefore be concentrated on these two leads. Then the customer engagement, they should further nurture relationships with top customers, offering tailored solutions and incentives to foster loyalty. Then May performance enhancement as well. Explore avenues to mitigate the drop in profit witnessed in May, potentially through targeted promotions or product diversification strategies. Then the operational optimization. Maintain a keen focus on operational efficiency to consistently achieve or surpass the 33% profit margin benchmark, ensuring sustained profitability and market leadership. Then as well, these reports is like uploaded to the Power BI service, which facilitates convenient access and collaboration with management. Like when you finish work for a company, you will have to like upload it so that you'll be able to, on your Power BI service, you'll be able to like collaborate with the management construct your row-level security such that each head of the unit will be able to like view the project and able to like make their own inference on your generated insights from it. So look, let's go on to okay, let's view the dashboard. This is the dashboard. This is the dashboard. Okay, moving on to this is the summary. This is the dashboard. This were the card visuals said earlier, which is which deals with the KPIs. There's the first one, the total number, the second one. Then I hope we can see the dashboard clearly. Then these are the number total number of transactions by product name. The total number of transactions, these are the total revenue generated. And from here, we could like relate properly with the dashboard. Even if we want to know, okay, the specific products bought by the loyal customers, we could, okay, looking at the digital camera, we could see the top loyal customers as regards the digital camera, then the total quantity, then the profit generated by month as regards the digital camera products. These are the profit generated monthly. We could see the increase, February, it increased over time, and in April.
All right. So Eva, so just try rounding up with in 2 minutes. Okay, you've been doing fantastically well.
Okay, let's move on to the diagnosing me. This was a tree map with the column charts to like buttress on the difference between the months, really focusing on May and April respectively. We could see that in April for communication and video, we have the quantity purchased as 426 like quantity sold compared to May 450. Dealing with the communication, that was what led to the increase. Then the decrease, 632 for video, then 287. The same to the display and the leisure as well. Then moving on to the profitability analysis. This as well, we could see the trend for the month. We could see the trend and we could see the quantity category for the month as well. So once we relate it with the slicers as well, we would be able to like see the differences and how it relates to each product. So thank you.
All right, fantastic work, Toiba. That's absolutely fantastic. And so you're from the data analytics squad. And please, can you just tell me when did you join the program exactly?
That's January 6th. So January course.
January.
Yeah.
All right, so you're part of the January cohort and you've been able to build those amazing dashboards, 3 dashboards, not just one. All right, so that's absolutely fantastic. So from what I've got from from the explanation you gave and your in-depth analysis, I could see that you created a dashboard that looked into the sales of Ray gadgets, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. And so guys, because I know we have been we've been wowed, with what Toyiba has been able to accomplish. So what she worked on was she helped a company called Way Gadgets analyze their data, their sales data, to understand their sales trends, to see the months that they made the highest sales. That's what's happening. and why they made these sales. Okay, so data-driven decisions are the key highlights of any major company today. And Toyiba has been able to show us just a snippet as to what the data analytics program offers. And don't forget, she joined the January cohort. That was just last month, and she has been able to do something fantastic. So thank you very much, Toyiba. Do you have anything you would like to say to the participants? Maybe you want to give them an advice. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to. But like I would say, it's not all about how far, it's about how well. You don't like people will think, oh, is it possible? In fact, this is not my first dashboard. This is not my first dashboard. I would say it's more or less like, let's say like the close to the 10th dashboard. So to say, we built like a lot of
10.
dashboards
Wow.
just within the frame of time. It's not like okay, it's something like a rocket science. The way 10Alytics dish out the knowledge, there is no way you'll be a pro in a limited period of time. You'll be a pro in a limited period of time. People will think you have this knowledge initially, but seriously, we don't. We don't. We joined on a plain mindset and a plain no knowledge, yeah, like particular to these aspects. But within that period of time, we've been able to build a lot, and not only build a lot. 10Alytics will train you in a way that you will be so confident with what you are doing. You'll be so confident with what you are doing. So it's something I would really advise people. The only regret I would say I had was I wish I had the opportunity to have joined earlier than this. Maybe I would have been better than, let's say I would have been better than the founder itself. So I'm like challenging myself against the co-founders, something like that, because I know it's really fantastic. Sincerely, learning from 10Alytics, it's something you would like wish to really, as in it's not something you're not wasting your time. It's worth the time. It's worth the time. I think that's
All
okay.
right. All right. Thank you very much, Toyiba, for that. So you're even looking to be better than the founders, to be better than your facilitators. And that's the goal, everyone. So yeah, at 10Alytics, we don't teach you to, just remain below. No, we teach you so you get ahead of us, because that's what we want. Our goal is to get as many persons in the Black community into the world of tech as possible. Okay, so thank you very much, Toyiba, for that fantastic presentation. All right, so Ebele, who do you think should go next?
Yes, thank you very much, Toyinba. That was a nice presentation. I love your dashboard. So the next person, we have Femi from the Scrum class. Hi, Femi. How are you doing today? Femi, are you on the call? Okay. Femi, come mute yourself now. Okay, while you wait for Femi to set up, we'll move to the next person. Hello, Abdul. How are you doing today? Good evening. Abdul from the financial analysis class. How are you doing today? I think network just stream out. Wow. Okay, so I'll move to Uzoma. Hi, Uzoma. Good evening. How are you doing today? Hi, Uzoma.
I'm fine. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good to have you on the call.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Isosa. Good evening, Ebele. Yeah.
Yes,
Good to be here.
good to have you on the call.
Yeah. All right.
Yes,
So can I go ahead? I share my
yes,
screen.
yes, you can.
Okay. Okay. I'm doing that now. Just help me confirm if you can see my screen.
All right, so we can see a screen, Uzoma. So you're currently sharing your entire screen, so I think you can go ahead. All right, so we can see a screen. So you're currently sharing your entire screen, so I think you can go ahead.
Sorry, I can't. I need to unmute my other mic. Sorry, I can't. I need to unmute my other
All
mic.
right, all right, all right, all right. All right. Please confirm,
I
all right.
can't
Please
unmute
confirm
my
that you
mic.
can unmute yourself
So,
now.
okay, thank you.
Please
I can't.
confirm.
All right, so it seems Uzoma is having some issues setting up. Okay, so Uzoma, are you good to go now? Do you want to just let us know if you're good to go, or if you want to get some minutes to set up?
I'm good to go. Can you hear me?
All right,
Can you
of
hear me
course.
clearly?
Yes, we can. You can go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been all right. We this is a computer vision project, and it's hand and pose detection. So I'll be taking this. Okay. So my name is Uzoma Iwurum. I'm data scientist. Joined the November cohort, 2023. That's 4 months ago, and so doing this after 4 months. So so basically joined data science and for to make you know that just a little bit of a background. I was once a novice, not I didn't know anything about data analytics, data science. So, but I joined and it changed things. I started seeing things from a different perspective, and I needed to become better. And I love what the last presenter said. You want to be the best. Really, that's what 10 Analytics helps you be to be the best. And so and then I think when I was looking for a place to do a course in data science, I was very interested, and I saw some of these. Actually, it was computer vision that incited my curiosity. I saw some of these LinkedIn posts with people doing the computer vision and all that, and I was like, what is this again? So I said, I got curious and I started to know more about them, and I enrolled, and I've never regretted it. So, basically, we are going to be discussing how I applied computer vision to detect hands and estimate poses in real time. So, and so I'm going to go ahead. And before we start, I would like to just give a brief background on computer vision. Sorry, I think computer vision. So, um, computer vision is a field of artificial intelligence that trains computers to interpret and understand the visual world. And so computers can understand um, the visual world, and it's it can accurately identify objects, whatever object it is, be it human beings, be it hands, be it legs, be it poses, be it even cracks, whatever it is. As we are going to go forward and talk more about, it can accurately identify this object. You train the models to identify this object, then they classify it, and then they are able to react to what they see and tell you what they want you so that you can take the proper action. Maybe they can either raise an alarm, or maybe make do give a message so that you can be able to take the appropriate action needed. So going into my project, we just a project overview. um I did the hand and pose project was to create a system that can recognize and track hand movements as well as body pose movement using computer vision. So um, eh, normally you would take a lot of poses and maybe hands, and then you would train this model to be able to um, recognize these pictures and recognize pictures of hands, pictures of the several poses and all that, and then it can then when you train this model, it can be able to identify it, and then that model is now put to use, now deployed. So what we did was to or what I did was to use one of the trained models by MediaPipe, and at the end of this, you can get my project, the total code from my GitHub. We can use we use the models trained by MediaPipe to then deploy it and then use it to identify hands and poses, and that's what we did. And you can see some of it here, and just to play, um, you can see my hands and all that. And this, in applying the hand detection, you can apply it with, you can see that with this technology you can use it to for sign language translation, and imagine that. And also they can use that for robot remote control. You can use it to, like, when today AI is moving into where robots will be able to do surgeries, do surgeries. Um there was a question asked one time. It said, who would you allow to do a surgery on you? Would you allow a human or a machine that has been trained? And a lot of people said machines because they make less mistakes. So imagine that. So you could use um, this for that. These are the technologies that um, that we could use for that. And this is just my hand detection program. Then going into the pose, you could see you can see that it can provide it can help with the fitness and exercise um, sector, really, in terms of the exercises, the sports. And in yoga, it says it can provide um, standard and correct yoga postures, which, if not done properly, may result in serious injuries and all that. So the model can be trained to know the kind of positions to use, and it can also you can use it for action predictions, surveillance system, even movies and games. These are where you can use this to you can do it. You can use this model to, you can apply it to that in movies and in games and all that. So basically that's it. And so I'm going to just give you a down of some of the places you can apply this as well, and just give you some of the scenarios. In one of the projects we did as well was a supermarket store. We did that in class as well, where you can you see how the traffic. So you can use that to reduce traffic, where the model is trained to identify human beings and count them on the line. And when it counts them on the line, it can give a message out to the manager and say, maybe this line is going way past the number of time it should, maybe like way past 5 people to be on the line, so we need more assistant. They should they should come in and help out. So, and so it reduces customer wait time, and then it could there's some computer vision program where you can even train them to identify items in the supermarket shops, where as the customer picks these items, it is able to note these items and also give the person the price at the by the time the person is done with taking all the items. When it gets to the cashier or whoever is taking money, the price is already there, and so it reduces the downtime and all that. So it makes it faster, and so and then you could also use that to enhance customer experience. Let's say you register your faces of your that's the face recognition side. You register the faces of most of your customers or all your customers, and when there's a returning customer coming in, you can, when it recognizes that customer and say, the hi Mr. Uzo, hi Mr. I Mr. Femi. Hi, Ebele. This is what welcome to this store. Welcome to this store. This is um we are happy to have you here. That kind of message, and just enhance customer experience. So these are where you can apply this in the supermarket store. One more area where you can apply, and this a friend of mine was who is an earthquake engineer in Japan. Japan, they have earthquake scenarios. So he's a structural and earthquake engineer. So he also became a data scientist, and then he was able to train models to detect cracks in building. So imagine you putting cameras in the buildings, and they are able to detect cracks on time, so they can be fixed, and we can also prevent loss of lives and property due to disaster, loss of revenue, even losing the building itself. So these are several ways you could apply computer vision. So I just wanted to say that in conclusion, it has so many potential, and the potentials are to the roof. There's so much you can do with computer vision, and from virtual reality experience in gaming to improving human computer interaction. So there's so much you can do. So this is a part of this is just the project I did, and I just hope and trust that you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for your time. Um, thank you, Sosa, and thank you, Ebele.
Right, thank you very much, Izoma. That was some fantastic work, okay? Building computer vision projects that could detect different body movements, body postures, and all of that. Fantastic. And one thing I really liked about what you did is that you showed us the different ways that you can actually apply what you learned, okay? So you're not just learning this for learning's sake, but there are different scenarios whereby you can use the computer vision, such as you mentioned for yoga practice, for even for some security measures. I've seen that as well, utilizing the computer vision for different hand gestures that serve like a password. But now I think I can call it a
Yeah,
pass gesture. Okay, if you get what I mean. Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
fantastic work, Uzama. That was really, really
yeah. I
brilliant.
forgot
And
to
you
even
mentioned the
mention the
drawings,
fingerprint on your phone. Yeah, I forgot to even mention the fingerprint on your phone, the facial
exactly.
security on your phones, and all that. That's correct.
Fantastic. And you joined the program in November, all right, and you're already doing something this amazing. One thing that I would just like to point, so I mentioned this earlier, but for those of us that might just be joining, but that might just be joining in now, okay, of course, there's the project showcase session, and it's possible to learn the skills within 2 months, within 4 months. All right. It's not far-fetched. And now you're seeing the reality. You're seeing that, oh, it's actually true. And that we're not just out there, blabbing. Okay. So Uzama has just spent, I think this making it 3 months now on the program, and he has been able to do something that's amazing. If you were to see that kind of project elsewhere, you would think, oh, before the data scientists, before he or she was able to come up with this, they probably spent 2 years learning about computer vision. All right, just like yeah, out there. But that's not the case, and Uzoma has proved that. And one thing I really like about the data science, the data science is, some years back, data science was referred to as the sexiest job. All right. So you can actually Google that. It was referred to as the sexiest job. And of course, that's it's very, very true. From what you've just said. And with data scientists can also predict the future. It's far-fetched, right? It's probably something you only see in movies, like something you see in sci-fi, or maybe like the Marvel movies, the way you have the Avengers, and all of those movies. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them. Okay, so whether they go back in time and they see the future and all of that, it's possible in real life. Okay, in your day-to-day life, it's very, very possible, and the data scientists can do that. They can predict what would happen in the future, taking a look at historical data. All right. So I just wanted to point that in as well. So computer vision is there, prediction is there, and a whole lot of other things. So thank you very much, Uzoma. I don't know if there's something you'd like to, tell the participants that are currently listening to you at the moment and have been intrigued by what you've just shown us.
Yeah, okay. There, of course, there is. You just need to, if you're waiting and waiting and waiting, you need to plug in really, and you need to know that one thing I like about Data Analytics is they are like a family to me. They is the community and the people around. They whatever you need, they're there to help you out with it. So you might be confused, they'll help you out with it. They also show you how to be package yourself on LinkedIn. So people, I told you that I got into data analytics through LinkedIn. So you could imagine that I was seeing so many profiles. Like I was like, this is this is good. I need to have this profile. So and I got into the 10 Analytics, and it was the packaging and everything was good. And I would say that it has even helped me, and I currently have a job right now. And I think it was in data. It was in 10 Analytics. I did data analysis for a while, but I was not able to do a dashboard. It was in 10 Analytics I did my first dashboard, and I was like, wow, that's something. So I want to tell you that you are in the right place. We're right place if you're trying to make a decision to join it. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Uzoma, for that. All right, thank you so much. Fantastic project, fantastic project. Ibele.
Yes, I love your project, Uzoma. Very nice. And maybe one of these days you can use me for practice. Okay, so next on our list, we have Joel from Data Engineering. Hi, Joel. Good evening. How are you doing today? Good to have you on the call. Hello,
Hi,
Joel.
Belly.
Hi,
Can
good
you hear me?
evening. Yes,
I thought
good
I
to have
was
you.
supposed to be, thought I was supposed to be last on the list.
Sorry?
I thought I was supposed to be last on the list.
No, you're not the last on the list.
It's
But if
always
you're
the
not
it's
set,
always the case. It's always the
but
case
you're
for we
always
data
ready.
engineers.
You're
Yeah,
always ready. I know you. You're always ready. Are you ready?
all right, let's go on.
Yes. Yes, you have the floor, Joel.
All right. So, can I share my screen now?
Yes, you'll be able to share your screen.
Okay. Let me just quickly. All right. Bello, can you see my screen?
Yes, Joel, I can see your screen.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I think we have like a lot of people on the call. Some months back in September, I was just like you, following a masterclass, about to make a decision, asking myself whether the program was going to be worth it. And I believe that that is the reason why most of you are here. Probably some of you have followed analytics, have heard about analytics, and you're wondering, will they really deliver? And I hope that for as many of you, and I know the number is going to be very few. There are always very few people who want to go for data engineering, and I understand that very well. But I hope that after this little presentation, we'll have more converts on the call and more people joining in, because we need more people in data engineering. So I am here as the data engineering advocate. So very quickly, who am I? I'm Joel Madumere, seasoned process engineer and a junior data engineer. I enjoy watching anime, enjoy football, enjoy reading, and I enjoy traveling. So before I go on to show you my project, I must first warn, data engineering is not as appealing as data science is. That's just the thing. It's not like you can see dashboards. In data engineering, you don't see lovely dashboards. You don't see, computer vision. You don't see all those beautiful things, because we are always at the back end. We are always behind the scenes. And the truth about it is that without the data engineer, there will be no business analyst. There will be no data analyst. There will be no data scientist. Why, you may ask? And I'm going to show you right away. So moving on. And the reason why I say without data engineering, there will be no data analyst or data scientists because the data engineers are the ones who bring the data on board. They're the ones who go and fetch the data. You saw the computer vision guy showing you a lot of beautiful things, but the thing is, who will get the data that's going to train the models? Is obviously the data engineers. And that's exactly what data engineering is all about. It's about the process of finding the right data at the right place and delivering it to the right people in the right form. Please take note of that. The right data from the right place to the right people in the right form. Very important. So what was my project on? Very simply, this project I worked on, I had to find something that would look a little interesting. I don't want to give something that will make people run away. So this project is a very straightforward one, nothing pretty complicated. So for those who probably will not like, who do not like to code, I will implore you to just follow up and just, I'll try not to bore you with a lot of coding this thing. I'll just show you the major objective of my project and the thought process. So yeah, I was in this project. Sorry, let me quickly put this down. So yeah, my project was basically enhancing weather reporting at Canaan TV through efficient ETL processes. I would explain what an ETL process is. But Canaan TV is a broadcaster, prominent broadcaster, and they're dedicated to weather reporting. So what Canaan TV looks to do is they want to digitalize the process. They do not want to have to always go and manually fetch data for weather reporting. So they needed somebody, or they need somebody rather, a data engineer that can help them pull data from whatever source, regarding some weather metrics and store it somewhere that they can easily have access to. So what they do is I come in the morning as a data engineer. I really build my pipeline. I just fetch the data and give it to whoever needs it. It can be the data analyst, it can be the data scientist, it can be the broadcaster himself. So that's basically what Canaan TV is looking out for. So what is my objective is to automate the weather data retrieval. Like I told you, data engineering is about what? Getting the right data. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to automate that process of getting the data without having to manually go and fetch for it. So yeah, we'll be implementing an ETL process that retrieves weather conditions at specific times and from specific location. So I'm going to go quickly into what an ETL process is. So what's an ETL pipeline or an ETL process? Simply put, ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. This is like the backbone of data engineering. What I'm showing you now is like the backbone. And if anybody can leave here just understanding what this is, then I'm fine. Then I think I've done my job here. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. So what do? It simply means we're going to extract data from the source, transform it according to the business needs, and we're going to load it into a data warehouse. That's basically what we do as data engineers. We just make sure that the right data is available for whoever needs it and for whatever purposes they need it for. And like what I just showed you now, for Canaan TV, they need data by 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 7 p.m. for weather reporting. And then they have 5 locations. There's Melbourne, there's New York, there's Lagos, and then I think there's Lisbon or something like that. So very quickly, this is just, kind of like a data architecture, how the whole process moves. You can get data from various sources. You can get it from SaaS platforms. You can get the data from let's say, from websites. You can get the data from databases or a data warehouse. And then you transform the data because most times data is always in a messy form, just like crude oil. Data is never in the right form. So let me just give this analogy. Just like, you go to the market, you buy ingredients, that's data extraction, depending on what you want to cook. If you want to cook a goosey, you're not going to get ingredients for our farm. So you get the ingredients. When you come back home, you have to cook the food. And that's where the data processing goes on. You have to cook the food, make sure it's in the right form for you to eat. And then you store it. You don't just leave it in the pot. You have to store it somewhere. Put it in the fridge, put it wherever you want to put it. So that's basically what we do as data engineers. We get data, we transform it, and we store it. So for this project, I had this is the stages for the project. I had, for the extraction, I had to retrieve data from open weather map using an API key. So I think I can show you what open weather is. Let me quickly show you what open weather is. So this is open weather. This is open weather. What they do is that they provide data about weather from any area. So how do we get data from open weather API? Very simply, we use what we call API. API is application program interface. So there's a program we will run, or there are protocols, there are instructions that are in the documentation. I don't want to bore you with the documentation, but there are instructions or protocols in the documentation that if you follow, you will get whatever data you need, be it time, be it humidity, pressure, but I'll come to that very quickly. So I'll be retrieving data from open weather API using an API key, and then I'll have to structure the data using a predefined schema. Don't forget, we have to transform the data in such a way that if it's in the database, maybe the data analyst or the data scientist, anybody that wants to make use of the data can easily query the data. So it's not just enough to get the data, they must be able to easily query the data. And I'm going to store it in a Postgres database. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So what informations do I need? Very simply put, I have to extract the name of the city, the geographical coordinates, that's the longitude and the latitude, the city ID. I think the first presenter was showing something on data modeling, and I think she explained briefly on that. I don't want to go into data modeling, but something like the city ID is so important because this is what we call a primary key. So it is used to uniquely identify the data in the table. So no two cities will have the same primary key. So Lagos will not have the same primary key as New York. So that's why it's very important. For the weather information, what they need, please, if you're still hearing me, please just let me know, Ibele. So I know that I'm still talking to people on here. So what they need
Yes, we can hear you, Joel.
Okay, thank you. What they need for the weather information is the current temperature of the city. They need the humidity, they need the pressure, and they need the time of the data collected. This is so important. Why? Because, the humidity will vary with the time. So the humidity in the morning will depend on the humidity in the evening. So that's why the time is so important. And don't forget, in our objective, they told us to get data at 3 times. That is 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 7 p.m. So this is the data I'm going to be extracting for them. So let me quickly go into, the tools. What tools will I be using? Python. So for anybody that's on the call, data engineering, you're going to code. You cannot escape from it. You're going to have to code. And in Python, I'm going to be using a library called the Pandas library. And this is a library that's going to help me do a lot of the transformation. So for my IDE, which is my, what do you call IDE? Why have I forgotten that? But then I'm going to be using VS Code for my IDE. For my database, there are different kinds of databases. Some people prefer my SQL, which other one is there? So there are different kinds of databases, but Postgres is like majorly used, the data engineering environment. And then Airflow, I wish I can go into Airflow, but Airflow is how we would automate this process because we will not be coding every day. We'll not be waking up every morning to be coding. No, we are going to automate the process. That's why it's a pipeline. So by the time we have done coding and doing everything we have to do, at 7 a.m., the data will come out, 7 p.m., 12 p.m., the data will be out, 7 p.m., the data will be out. So all these things is automated. Nobody will be going to be, coding every day. Do you understand? So very quickly, let me go into my Python scripts to explain a little of what is going on. Like I told you guys, data engineering is not as sweet as the other data analysis or business analysis, but it's very, very interesting when you get into it. That's just the good thing. It's interesting when you get into it. So very quickly, what am I doing here? I've explained what the thought process of my project was. I've explained what the objectives are. I've explained what I'm going to be getting. But this is where the work goes in. This is the downstream process. This is our workshop. This is where we put all the pieces together.
All right, Joel, I think you're sharing another screen, but so just your slides, so we might want to try resharing.
Okay. Oh, are you still seeing this?
Yes, so I'm still seeing your slides at the moment.
Sorry. All right. Can you see the dark world?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the dark world. This is VS Code. I don't know. I wish I did it on Jupyter Notebook. But Jupyter Notebook is very friendly or friendlier than this. But this is Jupyter Notebook on VS Code. So please don't be scared. These things are not things that they look strange, but believe me, when you get into it, you would enjoy it. So don't be scared. You're probably saying that screen, I wonder what is happening. So this is my Python script. Like I was trying to explain, this is where I get the work done. This is where I write the codes that will extract the data, that will transform the data, and that will load the data. This is where everything is done. So let me just brush through it, and then I'm going to show you. Let me just brush through it quickly. So before you start, you have to import libraries. Anybody that is probably conversant with Python would have an understanding of what I'm doing here. I import the necessary libraries. The way Python works is you don't have to code from scratch. There are people who have done the work for you. You just come and you just copy and you use whatever program they've done for you. So you don't have to start from scratch. So I just have to import every library that I need. I have to connect to my database. Don't forget, I'm not supposed to actually show you this information, but I don't think you will be able to use anything with it. But don't forget, when we extract our data, we have to load our data somewhere. And this is exactly where we'll be loading our data, in a database. This is the information of my database. So my code knows where to load the data. So this is what the code will be using. So very quickly, I talked about the API. Let me quickly speak about what an API is. When you go to a restaurant, you don't go to the kitchen to ask them to give you food. What do? You go to the restaurant, you sit down, a waiter comes to meet you and asks your order. The waiter acts as the API, the application program interface. So the waiter will take your order and the waiter will go to the kitchen and speak to whoever is in charge and get your order for you. Do you get me? So that's what an API is doing. So I'm communicating with the open weather map. So what this code is going to do quickly is to get me the required data for Lagos, for London, for Melbourne, for New York, and for Toronto, simply put. And when I'm done with that, I will have to create what I call tables. People who have done them, anybody who has an idea of SQL would understand what this thing is doing. So I have to create a table in my database where I will store my information. Information cannot just be hanging in the air. It has to be stored somewhere. So this is what I'm trying to do here. There are two tables I'm trying to get. There is the city data, don't forget, and there is the weather data. And I explained exactly the information I'll be getting. And you can see them here. So I don't want to bore you with a lot of code because it'll be quite hard for you to understand all of this. So yeah, this is where I'm just trying to, get the data, transform it, and do some arrange it in the format it's supposed to be in. So I'll just keep this quickly. You don't need this. But look at this. Look at this. This is what I was trying to get. Can you see this? I mean, the data was not, this data you saw here was not stored anywhere. It was just somewhere in the web. The only thing Kenan TV needed to do was bring me on board and tell me I need this data. They don't want to know where I get the data from. They don't want to know how I get the data. They don't want to know how I'll be able to get the data in this format. All they need is this data. But look at what we have been able to do here. The whole code and everything we have done is just to get this. Just to get this. You can see the data here. You can see city, you can see the longitude, you can see the latitude. And then for the weather data, you can see city. Don't forget, look at something quite interesting. There's the city ID for the city data, and there's the weather ID for the weather data. There's the city data for the weather data. So these two city IDs are the same. So with this city ID, I can get the weather data. I can get information about the weather data. I can get information about the city data. So by the time you do some SQL, you appreciate what the primary key is. You appreciate what this is. So why did I point this out? It is not the data analyst that will arrange this table. It's not the data analyst that will get these keys. I, the data engineer, is going to arrange the table in such a way that anybody that is querying it can be able to query it easily. By the time you begin to do your join statement, you understand why the primary key is important, which is what I've done here. So you can appreciate the table. I've been able to do the major job, which is to I've extracted the data, I've transformed the data. No, sorry, I've not transformed the data yet. This is still extraction. Because look at something. The temperature is not in the right format. They want the temperature in Celsius. So I have to do a little transformation to get the data in Celsius. And I need to do something about the date time. Look at the dates here. You see that the date is giving me strange figures. This does not look like a date you will see normally. But after I'm done with the transformation, look at what I get. You can see the time. I get the date and I get the time. And last of all, I have to load the data somewhere, like I told you. And this is what a database, Postgres database looks like. This is what a Postgres database looks like. So you can see it here. So you can, from here, you can query. I think I've deleted this. But if I run the code, you will see it here. But if I run it and there are some issues, I have to start debugging, and I don't want to go into that. So if I run the code now, you see that you have the weather data and the city data table, the weather table and the city table somewhere here. Like here, you can see the customers. You can see, oh, you can't see my screen. You can't see the screen, right?
No, not yet.
I should have shared all my screen, but sensitive information. But let me just quickly show you this. I'll be rounding up with this. Let me just quickly show you okay. I'll round up with this. Sorry, I should have shared all my screen, but okay. So I was just trying to show you what a Postgres database looks like. This is what it looks like. It's confusing, but it's not confusing. Permit me to say that. So just like you say, you see where there's tables. Yeah, there's tables here. You see various kinds of tables. It is from here that the data analyst will get whatever data he needs for building a dashboard he needs to build. It is from here that the data scientist will get whatever he needs for training the models that he needs to. And also the business analyst. You see why, data engineer as a whole is so important, because without data engineer, you can't get this data like this. So I hope I've been able to convince you that data engineering is quite interesting, and I hope to see more of you joining us.
All right.
So that will be the end of my presentation.
Thank you very, very much, Joel, for that fantastic
yeah.
presentation. Of course, you made mention you are the data engineer, that's the data engineering advocate, okay, looking to get more persons into the profession. And of course, data engineering it's very, very sweet. I think that's the only word I can just use for it, sweet, okay? Because sweet is something that everyone understands. So when something is sweet, that is what data engineering is all about. Of course, they work on the back end, like Joel mentioned, but their work is very, very necessary. All of the data that you see, the data analytics guys are using, the data scientists are using, the business analysts, the HR analyst, the financial analyst, all of those data, it's being brought about, arranged in a proper format by the data engineers, and they provide this data to these other professionals that need it. So they are like the plumber that connects the different pipes. So let's say you have like a house, and then in your house you have you have 5 rooms. Okay, now these 5 rooms, a room is so we have the data analyst room, we have the data science, there's a room for the data scientist, the room for the business analyst, the room for the HR analyst, and every other person that needs data. Okay, now the data engineer's job, who is the plumber now, is to create pipelines, all right, to all of those rooms to ensure free-flowing data. So they're going to get the data from the source and then pass it through that pipeline to these different professionals that need the data. So without them, there's no data. Okay, so without the data engineers, there's no data, and that's why it's a very, very fantastic job. It's one of the highest paid roles in the tech ecosystem today. Okay, so you can mark my words on that. Go on Google, check out all of those things. All right, so the data engineers are very, very much fantastic. And Joel, you mentioned you're a Baka fan as well.
Of course, I'm a Baka fan. Probably thinking of
all right.
I'm thinking of migrating. I don't know where to migrate yet.
All right. Seriously, and I was about to say Visca. So do you know okay. Visca? Do you know the comeback for that?
I don't really come back for that.
All right. So say Visca, AO Barca. So yeah, so I'm a Barca fan as well. All right.
Okay.
So thank you very much. Yes,
right.
Joel. All right. So thank you very much, Joel, for that. That's very, very fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Do I need to leave now? Any questions?
Yeah, you can stop. You can stop sharing now.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
All right then. So who will be going next?
Thank you very much, Joe. Nice presentation. So for the next person, we have Femi. I don't know if she can speak now. Hi, Femi. Good evening. How are you doing today? Femi, are you on the call? Okay. I don't think he's on the call yet. So we'll move to Peter Nwankwo. Is he on the call? Hi, Peter. Good evening. How are you doing today? Hi, Peter. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Hi, good evening.
Hi,
Yes,
good
I can
evening.
hear you. Good evening. Good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening. Yeah, good evening. Good to have you on the call.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Sorry. Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm trying hard to launch Zoom on my laptop. I didn't know I didn't have it before now. I'm speaking with from my phone. I don't know how to
Okay.
combine two of them.
Okay, so do you know what? We'll just give you a few minutes to do that. We'll just call the next person while you take your time to prepare. Is that fine by you?
It's okay.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you very
fine.
much. Yes. Okay, next person on the call. We have Rotimi. Hi, Rotimi. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Hello?
Hi, Rotimi. Good evening from the cybersecurity class.
Yeah, good evening.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
And I'm fine. Thank you.
Awesome. So you have the floor.
Okay. Before I share my screen, I would like to talk about myself. My name is Danu Rotimi Agbola. I've been in the tech space for more than 15 years, but um, I'm I want to be in tech. I hope people understand that I've been around tech, but I want to be in tech. Yeah, I've been a salesperson for a while, and I've been doing that. So I wanted to look for something uh, in tech, and where to go about it. And I saw 10Alytics on Instagram being promoted by one influencer, and I joined, and I'm in the February cohort. So we're just about 3 weeks or so.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's been a wonderful experience. And today I'm going to talk about one of the projects we did about maybe like 3 days ago. Um, and the project is on threat analysis, how cyber security analysts, how they use threat analysis, they use the threat model to envisage threats when a project is about to be done. You see, basically, when a project is about to be done, um, the best time to look for threats is always at the beginning. At the beginning, before it's even be designed, at the design stage, let me put it that way, at the design stage. So we were taught how to use the threat model to envisage threats. And using the threat model, there are two things that you probably see that is very, very important. You have the IOC, IOA. The IOC is the indicator of compromise, and the IOA is indicator of attack. You don't want to be in the situation of indicator of compromise. That means you have already been compromised. So what threat model does is to make sure that you see the threats before they happen. The model shows you the threats before it happens. So I'm going to share my screen now. And can you see my screen?
Not yet, what you mean? So it's not up yet.
Okay. Can we see
All
now?
right, so yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So we are using, it's called the Microsoft Threat model, and we are using the Stride model. The case study we had was a case study called threat models over space and time. And this case study was for end-to-end encrypted messaging applications. We are talking about WhatsApp, we're talking about Telegram, we're talking about Wicker. And they are trying to see how using threat model, how they can see the attacks before they come. Now, as cybersecurity students, you're going to be taught that you are like the police, you are like the auditor of the internet space. So you need to be very, very aware of the threats that happens. This particular case study, I will go through that. That's what I'm supposed to do today. I'll go through how a typical threat analysis is done. So for this one, this is an old one I've done. This is for you to be able to do that. You have to download the Microsoft threat analysis tool. Is on their site, and once you download it, you can use it. And once it comes on board, you click new model. No, I don't want to save it. So this is what we have. This is how the background of the threat modeling tool looks like. For you to be able to do that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do first is in the case study, we are to look at, sorry, I can't share that together, but we are to look at the different attacks that could happen. Now, I need to close this. This is obstructing me. Yeah. Okay, so let me reduce it this way, because this is maybe let me put it this way. Yeah. Okay. So with it, we can see the general process, the generic extractor, the generic data store, generic data flow, generic trust line. All these are stencils. These are used for you to create like an atmosphere, or like a model to say, okay, this is what we want to do. Now this time around, we want to see how from the diagram. I don't know, maybe I can change. I can drag it here. This is the case study that we were supposed to do. I hope they can see this case study. It's a case studies of end-to-end messaging applications. And this is what we want to try and achieve. We want to use the threat model to be able to go through this. We have a mobile application. We have an eavesdropper. Now, this eavesdropper is the threat. We are envisaging that this could be the threat. Now, mobile application needs to talk to the cloud server applications. They will send messages to each other. That's from your mobile phone to the cloud server. But what this threat model is that, could there be an eavesdropper? Can somebody be eavesdropping on these messages? Like, for example, I'm talking to A is talking to B. Can there be a threat of somebody trying to talk or trying to eavesdrop what is happening? I'm making a WhatsApp call to somebody, and can there be an eavesdropper? So that is what this threat is going to tell us about. And we want to go about it and say, you know what, let's come up with something like this and see the threats that will be available. So I'll quickly go into this and do this. And which is, okay, generic. First of all, we need to look at the human user. You drag it to this place. Then we look at the mobile application itself. So mobile application, is it web application? Is it a managed application? Is it native application? We need to look at it very, very well and see that, okay, it's an external web application. Since it's mobile, you drag it here. Now, these are tools that you are using to see how you can go about your, how to detect threats. So again, we have the cloud server. So you have to look at the generic. So this has to be this one. And this, you drag it. Also, we have the messages to each other. So these are the data flow. Now, you want to use HTTPS because it's more secure. So you put it here. And you drag. So it's a two-way direction. I mean, we have to rename this so that it can be to what we want. So you rename it, you go to the elements properties, and you rename it to mobile applications. Mobile applications. Then this one, you rename it also to applications cloud server. Cloud server. Now, as you can see that all of them, they all have their features. I mean, the cloud server, the mobile application, they all have, so you need to now start asking yourself, okay, will it authenticate itself? So we can probably say, no, it shouldn't authenticate itself, or it could. So you could say yes. Under the application, yeah, store credentials, yes, we say yes. Stores log data, yes, you have to put it there. Encrypted, yes. Signed, maybe, maybe not. Maybe just put it there. Just for this purpose, let's just leave yes. Backup, yes. Shared, maybe no. SQL, relatable, can say yes, maybe yes. Relationable, relationable database, okay? So leave it. Like we said, this is a two-way communication. So you have to also look at the HTTPS again. We will change that also because it is called okay, this is it. Okay. So you change it. It's called under that case study, it's called credentials stroke messaging. This, okay. The same thing for this too. Credentials stroke messages. Okay. You can also ask, I mean, answer some questions. Is it a physical network? Maybe it's under because it's mobile and so it has to be maybe on 2G. Source authenticated, yes or no? Yes, maybe. You know, these are questions that will have been because you are trying to make a model. But for this case, I'm just trying to rush things. So we have this. Now also this is the human user. Now this human user we are going to rename it as the eavesdropper. Is the one that we are saying that is going to try to enter into our system. Eavesdropper. Now the eavesdropper will also have a channel. So you have to create like a direction that, okay, it's trying to enter into this place. So this is eavesdropper.
All right,
okay, what is he
just
going
want to inform
use?
you. So
Yes?
for cutting and Rotimi. So I just want to inform you we have 2 minutes, so you can just wrap up. But fantastic work so far.
Okay, quickly, I'll quickly do this and we'll see that. So once we are done with okay, I'm sorry. The eavesdropping channel, that should be on the PLC. Okay. I'm about to round up now. Okay. Once you do this, you have this. Eavesdropper channel. Okay, so we have this. Okay, let's just say for time's sake, we have done our case, and we have a internet border here. Sorry. Okay, we are done. So once we are done with this, now we now need to know, okay, do we have threats? Do we have what threats will we have in this case? You just go to this place under view, analysis view. So we first of all need to identify. So it's giving us 5 threats. We've identified 5 threats, and under this, we'll now be able to click, okay, what do we need to do? We also can also print, make a diagram, what's it called? Sorry, a report. So under view again, you go to reports, create full reports, and you generate. So you probably name it class work live. Okay, and you save, and it's going to come up with a modeling report. So you can see all those 5 threats here. Now that is not done with using the stride model. The stride model is spoofing. You can see, I mean, with the stride model, you'll be able to see all the threats and the categories of the threats. Say, for example, you've seen it: spoofing, repudiation, spoofing, information display. So we need to mitigate these threats. Now, once we are done with the report, you close it. You now start looking at it one by one. You click it, saying, okay, application cloud server may be spoofed by an attacker, blah, 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 blah. Okay, say consider using a standard authentication mechanism to identify the destination data store. So justification, you answer, okay, create a standard authentication mechanism. So you've done that. You say mitigated low. So that is already done. You go, so you do that for all of them. Okay, like this one now, just type, okay, allow trusted code. You say, okay, you have mitigated it. So, you know, all the threats that he has brought out, you are now looking at it one by one to see that, okay, I've done it. You go to the next one. Okay, do accept or identify and authenticate source log. So you answer again, okay, authenticate source logs.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
So once you are done with that, you just go to your report again and you generate full reports, and it tells you all what you have done. You know, by that time you have really reduced your threats. You know, before it was showing 5 threats, now it's now 3. You know, sorry, it's now telling that you have mitigated 2, and there are 5 in total.
Hi, Rotimi. Thank you so much for your nice presentation. I say, where's your take for that?
Yeah, thank you so much, Rotimi. And so Rotimi is in the cybersecurity program, and what he had been showing us so far is a threat model that he developed to try to mitigate eavesdropping when you're making phone calls. Now, I'm sure we all use WhatsApp. Maybe not everyone, okay, because of course I don't want to generalize, but most of us, or some of us, okay, do use WhatsApp. And we use WhatsApp in sending messages, and then we use WhatsApp in making calls. Now, I'm sure we have come across encryption. So you see this stuff called, you know, your messages are encrypted, that your calls are encrypted, and all of that, meaning that whenever you're sending a text, whenever you're making a call, the only persons that would have access to that call is you and the other person, that's whoever it is you're communicating with, not WhatsApp themselves. Okay. Now, Votimi has created the model to ensure that that is the case, that your text messages, your direct messages that you send, that it's just between you and the other. So that's what cybersecurity is all about. Cybersecurity is about preventing access to data for those persons that should not have access to it. All right. And it's a very, very lucrative career path because one in this modern world, okay, like in this what occurs in our day-to-day world now is that we have different companies that work with different data sources. All right. And the cybersecurity are there to ensure that this data is not that it's outside threat does not get access to this data, and not just the data, network as well. So they are in charge of ensuring security, cybersecurity, ensuring cloud security, and all of that of the company's resources. So thank you very much, Rotimi, for that fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and well done. Okay, next on the call, we have Vivian. Hi, Vivian. Good evening. How are you doing today? Hello, Vivian. Please confirm that you can hear me. Okay, so I'll move back to Peter Wanko. Hi, Peter Wanko. Good evening. How are you doing today? Please confirm that you can hear me.
I can hear you. I'm fine. Okay.
Yes,
Good evening,
I hope you're
everybody.
good to go. Good evening.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm good to go. Just that my Zoom I'm trying to download is still not fully downloaded. It's still
All right,
showing
no issues. I
38%
think
at the
maybe,
moment.
all right, no issues. Maybe we'll just
On my
rotate
my
back.
desktop, I'm used to calls, communication calls with goggles and all that. It's on my phone that I have Zoom. As I hope before the next person I will be able to download full. I don't know why it's taking time.
Yes,
I'm
no
sorry
problem,
about
Mark. So while we see rotate back to you, is Abdul on the call now? Hi, Abdul. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good to have you on the call.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Okay, actually, before I share my screen, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Abdul Graduation, and I'm a financial analyst. I joined 10Alytics in the October cohort of 2023, actually. So, and I'm here to actually present my projects on a financial modeling. So for the sake of for the sake of other that doesn't have any background knowledge about financial jargons and all that, so I would like to actually tell us what financial model is all about. So maybe we've heard about it before. Financial modeling is actually about mathematical representation of a company financial situation. Typically just to predict the future financial performance of an organization. So for those of us that are actually quite conversant with the financial market, you'll be hearing a lot when an analyst is saying, okay, they rate a particular share, buy, hold, or whatever. So there's a lot of work that actually go into that make them to actually recommend whether to buy, hold, or sell a particular share. So having done that, I would like to share my screen just to present what I've done for my projects. Okay, so okay, I believe you can all see my screen now, right?
Yes,
Hello.
still coming. Yes, Abdul.
All right. So the project I actually want to present to us tonight is all about a furniture company particularly home furniture segment of furniture industry. So which is a startup company. It's actually a friend business that actually tried to um, uh, help in actually build the financial model of the company actually. So the company is going to be, I mean, based in Ibadan or your state to be precise. So um this is my this is my cover page. As you can see, K&K Home Furniture Limited. It's a 5 years financial model. Like I said, it's a startup, so there's no any historical financial statement before. So it's all about the prediction about the future. So here is the input. Here is the input of the financial model. Okay, so this is the general assumption actually. So we have a lot of data that goes into all this assumption just to derive our output of the financial model. So we use the primary source and then the secondary source. Secondary source in the sense that we use a lot of statistical website like Statista and all that. So in terms of primary data, we use questionnaire to actually gather some information from the existing operators in the industry. So now the company is actually have 4 revenue mix, which is sofas, TV stand, wardrobe, and then bed frame. So those are the 4 key revenue mix of the company. So it is actually assumed that the company is going to produce a quantity of it's going to sell a quantity of 21 quantity at the price of 350 at an average across from 2024 to 2028. So as far as TV stand is concerned, you are going to sell 38 quantity in the year 2024 at the price of 55,000 naira at an average across the year. So that's about this thing, because time is not actually about our side. So I'm going to go into the costs of producing that particular furniture. So there's a materials that goes into that, into building all those products, which is MDF board, wood, upholstery fabric, metal, foam and padding, glass, and some miscellaneous like that. So there's going to be some direct labor, which are actually the craftsmen, like all those people that they build, like carpenters and all that, so that they craft all those materials into shapes that they want. So these are the selling and distribution expenses assumption. So there's going to be marketing expenses, which is going to be 3% of the revenue. So that's why you see 3% there. Then as far as so there is fueling, electricity. There's going to be a showroom where they don't have money to actually build up for now, so it's going to be rent. It's going to be on rent. So that's why you can see 3 million there. 3 million up to 2028, and some other miscellaneous that has to do with them selling and distribution. Okay, so these are the assumptions regarding the personnel that are going to be working for the company. We are going to have managing director, the finance manager, the commercial manager, and all that. So these are the count of their head. The count of personnel. We're going to have one across all the years, so we don't really need more as far as administrative this thing is concerned. So these are their salary. Okay, so this is the salary for managing director, the finance manager, the commercial manager, marketing, and all that. So then this is the other operating expenses, probably general expenses and all that. So now, since it's a startup company, we are going to have some pre-incorporation expenses. Maybe they want to register the business, licensing it, and all that. So we have a lot of branding and marketing. So these are the costs for um for the preparation of the company. So we have workshop erecting. So we actually plan to erect the building. So these are the costs that goes into that. Now, there's going to be machine that's going to be using in assembling all those products, and these are the cost and the quantity of the um non-current, the machines that's going to be used to get all those product assembled. So we have circular saw, we have planner and jointer, we have upholstery machine, tools box, we have packaging machine. So these are the quantity for the year 2024. They are going to have just one quantity at the rate of 730,000. So in the year 2026, they are going to bring in another two. So at the cost of 730, which is increased as a result of inflation rate. So that's why you see that figure there being different from the 730 that is there before. So that was the plan. Okay. So that's that about the assumption. And if you look at my content here, this is the logic of how this model actually flow. We have the output and we have the input and the calculation. So the output is actually the financial statement, which is the most important aspect of this financial model, because we just want to know the actual cost of actually establishing the business. What are the revenue, what are the costs, so that we can make the decision that we want to make. So this is the revenue that we plan to make in the year 2024, which is about 103,000 naira, all the way to 2028, which is 674. Is going to be increasing gradually. So this is the cost of sales. Probably the cost of sales, which is the direct material and the direct labor and the overhead expenses. So those are the cost of sales actually. And we are going to get a gross profit of all this amount you can see here. I don't want to bore us with a lot of numbers. So quickly, I will try to show us the dashboard that shows us the summary of what I'm actually talking about here. Okay, so we have the average revenue all through the year 2024 to 2024 is going to be 350,736,000. 305,736,000. So the gross profit is going to be this particular amount here, and the net profit is going to be 33 million 118,497 197 naira. Okay, so these are the operating costs. As you can see here, you can see that majority of the cost on the operating cost breakdown is the personnel expenses. So which is the one that is printed with uh sorry, okay, the one that is printed with pink. Okay, so the next on the operating expenses actually is the other operating expenses. So these are the operating performance in the year 2024. You're going to get okay, so in the year 2024, the revenue is going to be 102 million 800,000. So as you can see, the revenue is going to be growing in year 2028 all through. So these are the gross margin, the net profit margin, the return on equity. So okay, so now
All right.
what is the
So you have just a minute to go.
all right? Okay, so this is the valuation of the company. The company is going to actually be valued at the rate of 1,422,897. So you have a work. Okay, using a DCF model just to get that enterprise value. So this is the worth of the company now. So that's that about that. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Abdul. Fantastic presentation. And so Abdul built a financial model, all right, which basically shows you the expenses and the profits that a company is going to be making even before they start, even before they go into business, even before they make the decision that would bring those expenses and those profits. So you are literally taking a look at the business future, okay, in building financial models. And this is absolutely fantastic. I would just like to share a quick story with everyone on the call. Sometime last year, I think around July, August-ish. All right. So we had a participant from the financial analytics program. Now, the participant, after she was done with the program, she told her friend, she posted on LinkedIn, oh, so I can do this, I can build financial models, I can analyze financial data. And a friend that just began a startup reached out to her and was like, oh, please, could you help me build a financial model for my business? I'm just starting in at least a way to bring in your own input into the into the business. All right. And she built a financial model for a friend. Fantastic work. Took a look at the expenses and the profit, showed the sales trends and all of this to a friend. And a friend was very, very much excited. Now, later on, a friend add someone else, like a connection. So this person and that person knows the other person. Okay. So a friend reached out to someone else, that had a similar issue, that wanted someone to build a financial model, and then recommended the financial analyst that trained with us and that built that fantastic financial model for him. All right. So he recommended her. And of course, she got paid for that work. All right. So what I'm just trying to say is financial models are a very, very big thing in the business world. Okay. And Abdul, when did you join the program, please?
Okay, I joined the program in October of last year actually. Yep.
All right, in October. Fantastic. And you've been able to learn how to analyze financial data, how to build dashboards, how to build a financial model. All right, which I don't think it gets better than this. All right, being able to look into the business future, just like I like to call it. Thank you very much, Abdul, once again for that fantastic presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Of course. All right, so Ebele,
All
so
right.
who should be going next?
Yeah. Thank you very much. So next we have Vivian. Hi, Vivian.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
All right. I'm so sorry, Vivian. Before you begin, so we have 10 minutes. Okay, so you have 10
Okay,
minutes to
that's fine.
present. So, all right, fantastic.
That's
So you can
fine.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's good to be here today. I've been my name is Vivian Omugeli. I've been in the HR sector or HR space for a while now. And I'm part of those people that like doing things differently. So I just said to myself that I don't want the basic, the regular HR paperwork. I want to do something, a tech aspect of HR, and I stumbled on 10Alytics on Instagram. And trust me, the journey has been amazing. I mean, I've been able to do things that I couldn't even ever imagine that I would do. So today I'm going to take you guys through unveiling absenteeism patterns. We all know what absenteeism causes to a business. It's really bad. So this is an introduction. Absenteeism or frequently unplanned absence from an employee, it causes in a summary, it causes a very low output of production. It reduces productivity greatly. And part of the causes of absenteeism, we have root cause, health issue, workplace environment, impact on work culture, workplace trust, moral motivation, organizational impact, productivity loss, financial consequence. So I'm going to go straight into the dashboard. I have two different dashboards on this. So I'm going to go straight into it to share the insights and as well the recommendations. So Ecomedia is the name of the company. They were suffering from lack of productivity due to absenteeism. And here we have the total employee, active employee, average absence, the attrition rate here. So this is the insight for average absence by year and quarter. If we look at this chart here, we would notice that in 2017, the third quarter, the level of absenteeism rised drastically. That's the quarter that has recorded the highest level of absenteeism. That means something really went wrong, because all through 2015, sorry, 2016, first and second quarter of 2017, it was a bit manageable, but this third quarter really went up. That means something really went wrong. The company was doing something somewhere that made people probably resigned, attrition rates increased and everything. Then in the first quarter of 2028, we can see that there was a drastic decline. That means they got something right. It might be they put some measures in place, but we'll talk about that when we get to the recommendation. Over here, the map chart, it shows the location that have the highest, that recorded the highest level of absenteeism, and it happens to be MA somewhere around here. Then this is average absenteeism by age. If we look at this, it shows that the adults age between 31 to 45, they recorded the highest amount of absenteeism. Then average absenteeism by marital status, we have the married and widowed. I hope we're getting the point here. It's trying to tell us something that something is actually wrong somewhere. Adults between the age of 31 to 45, and here married, single, married and widows. These are the people that have that recorded the highest rates. Then here, average absenteeism by salary, see the highest here by 15.8. Then absenteeism by race, we see we have the Black or African, the white, the Asian. Then there's a decline when it gets to this place. So going to the next dashboard as well, we have absenteeism by performance score. Needs of improvement exceeding, these are their scores. Then absenteeism by the recruitment source. From here, we can see that the job board indeed was the highest job board or the method of recruitment that's recorded the highest level of absenteeism. That's to say there's a problem somewhere. Then here we come, we look at the citizens. We can see that the whites, the USA citizens, they are the ones with the highest level here. Then average absenteeism by termination reason, gross misconduct, maternity leave, career change. And I would, because of this average absenteeism by termination reason, I will take us back to the first dashboard, which this part, average absenteeism by age range. I don't know if we are connecting it already. There's a problem somewhere. Married, widow, here, the adults between 31 to 35. That means there's something the company is not doing right. That is why this dashboard was created. So going further to the recommendation, the things that I recommend for the company, Ecomedia, to implement to get the right, to get it right, is to first of all implement a clear attendance policy and absence tracking system. And we all know this attendance door that's clock in and clock out, that will help them to track what is going on. Also, flexible work arrangements will help. Well-being program, because it happens that they're not very happy where they're working. Some of them leave because of gross misconduct. It could be they're battling depression or something. Also, to promote a positive work environment, that is very necessary. Because if we go back again to check, we would see that the age range of people that are leaving the company, they are really young people. It's possible that they are not satisfied in their career. They also need to create a growth opportunity in the organization, training and development, recognition and incentives. They need to use a lot of incentives so that these people can feel like the workplace care for them and bring out the best in them. if we still look at it again, the widowed and the married people, I'm hammering on that because they have the highest level. And here again, it says maternal leave. Probably they might have to reduce the maternity leave to maybe 3 months. If they were given 6 months, they can reduce it to 3 months. Maybe they are even given 2 weeks. That's why these people are not staying. If they're given 2 weeks, they can increase it or reduce it, vice versa. So they need continuous evaluation and improvement in order to derive and achieve the best results from their staff. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Vivian. That was absolutely fantastic. So, Vivian, you mentioned something earlier. You said, before you began presenting, you said that you didn't want to be like the normal HR. Am I right?
No, I didn't want to be. I don't like being regular at all.
Exactly, right. You don't like being mundane. And yeah, so you definitely did the right thing, moving into HR analytics, because I'm sure everyone on the call agrees. Okay. One department in the office that people feel, now I'm not saying they don't do anything, okay? I said people feel that they really don't have so much impact in the organization. It's the HR. That's the human resource. That's, oh, the only thing they do is so maybe when you want to leave, you go and meet them for leave, or when it's time for salaries and salaries are not forthcoming, and then you go to the door and you knock and say, please, it's the end of the month. Okay. So that those are the kind of things that they do. But that was before. Okay,
Yes.
that was the traditional HR that we knew, not now. All right. Now we see HR professionals utilizing data in managing employees in a better way, using data to identify trends that would make make employees leave the organization. So let's say over a certain time, you have been having employees leaving, even looking at the projects you worked on. So over a certain time, we've had employee absenteeism rise and fall. Yes. And then you take a look at the data to try to understand why is it rising. All right. Now that you have been able to identify why it's rising, then you can profile solutions to bring it down. So instead of the HR just being like, oh, we're giving a general report. Oh, so 50 members did not, 50 employees were not in work today. Maybe 1,000 did not come to work in the month of January, just giving reports. Rather, you're not performing solutions. Oh, so this is the reason why employees are not coming to work. And this is what I think we can do to change that to, have a positive trend. All right, and you do that using data. You do that using data informed decisions. So thank you very much, Vivian. You're definitely in the right place, and I really loved your work. All right, building two projects. All right, so I don't know if you have anything you would like to just tell the participants really quickly.
Okay, so I joined 10Alytics in the October cohorts. So sometime 2 years ago, when I gave it's just a brief story, when I gave my yearly reports to my MD as well as senior management, they had so much to say because it was in words. I was really pissed. Then we started in October. As of December, I didn't even know how to generate insights about HR, how to even use data, how to build a dashboard around HR related topics. But I built 2 dashboards. So December last year, when I presented my reports, it was all with dashboard. Nobody could say anything because they were lost. So I don't think that fear, on the other side of fear, there are a lot of positivity. I for one, I do not even like all this data, SQL. I do not like it. So I think I really embrace my fear, and you also can do that. You can do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivian. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. So next, I think we have Peter. Am I right, Ebele?
Yes, we have Peter on the call. Hi, Peter. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Hello.
Hi, Peter. Can you
Yeah, we
hear
can
us?
hear you, Peter.
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, everybody. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Peter Wankwo. I'm from Business Analysis, January cohort. So we're barely a month and some few weeks, a month and 3 weeks precisely. And this evening, it's my pleasure to present to us a project I just worked on. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Peter. You can go ahead.
Yes.
So let me go on and share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can, Peter. You can see your screen.
So this project we currently work on is some business analysis, and we're talking about process flow chart, and before I go into this, I also want to state it here that I've been in a career industry that spanned over 10 years and across banking sector, um, FMCG, and real estate. I needed to have a transition to take. And it happened in December. Somebody, a friend of mine, on chat, he did mention about 10Alytics. Before 10Alytics, I've had the opportunity to have classes with certification bodies. But honestly speaking, the lectures we did have then, they were not more like, real hands-on training like what we got here. And I must say that within these few weeks we've been on, it's been mind-blowing. It's been a lot of confidence gaining. And part of that confidence experience is what I'm going to share this evening. From what we have here, I don't know, how many minutes do I have? Sorry.
All right, so you have 10 minutes, but now we have 8 minutes left.
It's okay. So this is a project that has to do with submission of travel expense report from an employee, what we call expense retirement. A company employee returns from a business trip as usual, and it's requested of him or her to submit the travel expense by printing a hard copy of the travel expense report form. They will manually record these expense details on the report. They must sign it and date it. And all this is a manual processes. Then after which he now will print a copy of the form and the receipt. Furthermore, he will attach all the documents that were copied and file them in the personal cabinet as backup in case they get lost during the process. Now the real process now begins. The employee will hand deliver the original travel expense report as a package to his line manager. Then the line manager, when it gets to him, will review the expense report package received, and do the following key due diligence activities to help determine if there is any discrepancy. And this due diligence include ensuring that all mandatory fields on expense report are completed, that accurate cost center numbers are used to charge the expenses, that there is authenticity and clarity of receipts, and that expenses incurred against travels is in line with the travel policy of the company. And when all these things are okay, and there's no discrepancy found, the line manager will deliver that expense report package back. If there's any discrepancy found, he will return it back to the employer, for him to do some corrections or give some further feedbacks. But if it's okay and there's no discrepancy found,
the manager will determine if the amount of the expense is within his signing authority limit, that's authorization limit. And in this case, it's set at $1,000, So if it is within his limit, he goes ahead to sign the expense, and move it on to the account department for them to do the reimbursement. But in case it's above his own limit, he now send the report manually to the senior manager. So in this case now, when you get to the senior manager, he still have to do his own review, to ensure that everything is in line with the due diligence activities the line manager has already performed. So when everything is okay and this is within his limit, that's the report is above $1,000, then he himself will sign off and now move it to the account department for them to do that. And when it gets to the account department, them themselves will also do their own due diligence, check for receipt, check for management approvals, check for out of policy items, match receipt with line items, verify that dates or charges are all vendors are in line. When all these things are done, you see, these are the whole process that this whole thing goes in and out. And before this travel expense is reimbursed back to the employee. So what are we trying to do here now? We're trying to represent this thing in a flow chart. At the moment, we are showing as it is what is currently in vogue, what is currently obtainable, that's as is in the company, with a view to streamlining operations or procedures or processes so that we can get a better process to this whole thing. So in this case, we are going to use our management dramatic tools to represent this in the flow chart, and that's what I'm trying to what I will be presenting this night in the few minutes that's remaining. And the tool we are using at the moment now is draw.io. There are other drawing tools that can be used like Viso, like Lucid Chart, but currently I'm going to use draw.io. So draw.io is a web-based site. Just type draw.io, and it comes up on your web page. Let me share it. Let me open it. Sorry. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let me show it now. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see a screen.
It's okay. So this the visual website called the draw.io, where we do the as is representation. So at the moment now, this is what we call the swim lane representation, where we have the various actors in the project I just described. If you look at this lane here, this is where the employee is. And this is the process that the start of the process commences when the employee fills these expense return forms, signs and date it. Once it is done, then the process has started. And from here, it now moves to the second actor, who happens to be the manager at the second lane here. And this manager is the one now receives the filled, completed, and signed and dated expense return form. And he reviews it for correctness in line with all those key KPIs I mentioned earlier, and once everything is okay, he now passes this test. If the review is okay, if there's any discrepancy. If it's not, that's no. This box represents decision box. So at this decision box, if he reviews for correctness and it's not okay, that's if form passes the review test, it says no. If it's no, he returns it back to the employee for feedback or possible for correction. But if it passes this decision box, that's the review for correctness, everything is okay, there's no discrepancy.
So you have 2 minutes to go, Peter.
It's okay. And he moves to the next line, which is within the signing limit. Once it's within his signing limit, he signs and move it from here now. He will now jump the senior manager to the account department. And the account department are the ones where they will do the audit and compliance due diligence. And then if it passes the audit and compliance due diligence, they will perform the reimbursement and the whole process ends there. But in case the request is not within the signing limit of the manager, he moves it to the senior manager, who happens to be on the third lane, and who now reviews for correctness. And if everything is okay, he will sign and move it back to the account department. And the whole process comes to an end by them performing the reimbursement of the employee's expense ticket. So this is what we have in a glance, what we call the swim lane flow chart for process flow. And this whole thing is for two purposes. Normally, we have projects. Projects are there are two kinds of projects, for new projects or for enhancement. At the moment, this is what is obtainable. But the essence of what we are doing is also to look at this and pinpoint some of the pain points, some of the gaps that are embedded in this process, with the view of reviewing them, streamlining them, and probably automating some of these things, taking on some of the processes that may not be needful, in order to come up with something that will streamline the whole process and for the betterment of the organization. And that's what we have now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. That's so fantastic. Okay, so what Peter has been showing us so far is talking about a process flow, which you basically use to show the different ways a particular task gets done in an organization. And with that, you are able to identify bottlenecks. You are able to see, oh, it seems we might be having a problem. Yeah, so why don't we try to find a way that we can fix that? All right, and you do that utilizing different charts. So at the moment, what we can see is a swim lane kind of flow chart. And Peter has done a fantastic work in taking us through that and showing us the different processes. All right, so thank you very much, Peter, once again. That's very, very great.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Sorry, I didn't know that my video is not on this one.
It's fine. It's good to see you, Peter.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right then. All right, so you can stop sharing now. Okay, so I think that's everyone. All right. So far we've been learning about the different projects, the different programs, and the skills in these programs, and I'm sure we've all had an exciting time. Also, now I would like to give us some facts, some secrets, some things that I think would really be of great value to you in your career. All right, so if you want to hear the things I have to say, these secrets, these little snippets, these fun facts that I'm about to dish out. If you're ready to hear all of that, can you just drop a yes on the chat box? All right, so if you want to hear some of these tips on how you can get better in your career, how you can get better in tech, are you ready to hear all of that? Fantastic. So I can see a lot of yes on the chat box. Fantastic. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen so we don't waste any more time, and we get to learn about these tips, these secrets, these fun facts. Okay, so it's going to help us in our career, of course. All right, so what's this fun fact? What am I talking about? I mentioned that there are some tips. All right, so what is that all about? Now we've heard so far about the different programs, from the data analytics down to the business analysis and all of that. And we've seen the skills. And of course, you might be thinking, oh, these guys are wonderful, but why should I train with 10Alytics? All right, why should I train with 10Alytics? What do we offer? Yeah, we've seen the skills, but do you offer anything else? Now, what's in 10Alytics, there are four key things that I would like to point out, okay? Why you should train with us. The first is phenomenal achievements in helping people get jobs. For those of us that joined the session in time, like a few minutes before the start of the session, you might have seen and heard, of course, the different testimonial videos that we've had from different participants. So you can always go back to our YouTube channel and you see numerous participants from persons that we have helped to transition from the classroom into their first role in tech. All right. We've helped over 2,000 plus people transition from the classroom into their first job. That is, these guys did not have any prior experience in tech. And we've been doing this for the past 4 years. Another thing we have is that we have industry standard facilitators and an up-to-date curriculum. Our curriculums are up to date in the sense that we are always looking to add the new things that are occurring in the tech ecosystem. In the data analytics program, for example, you get to learn how you can leverage AI in data analytics, because AI is the new craze now. So everyone is talking about ChatGPT, everyone is talking about open AI, BARD, and all of that. So you get to learn how to utilize these AI tools in data analytics. And the only reason for that is because our curriculum is up to date. All right, so we are in tune with the trends. And of course, we have fantastic facilitators that have experience in the Fortune 500 companies with decades of experience. So all of these experiences culminate together to give you a fantastic program whereby you get to, you can speak with these facilitators, gain from their experiences. All right. And we also have a blended training to accommodate every learning type. All right. So for most of our programs, we have live classes, which you get to, like just like the way we are in the call at the moment. So you have your facilitator, at the other side of the screen. You get to interact, you get to ask questions, you get to point things out, you get to say, oh, so maybe you learned something during the week and you want to ask more questions on that. Real life interaction, real life experience sharing. All right. So that's for the live classes. Then we also have another learning type, which is the watch me do it videos, where you get bit-sized videos, very, very short videos that give you an introduction as to what you are going to be learning in class in the coming weeks. So you get a good introduction and then you go into class and then relearn what you learned in those videos, working on real life case studies. Note, real life case studies. All right. And another thing we offer is the tailored sessions to position you to your first job. But of course, I'm going to be talking about this in a while. Okay. I would expatiate on what all. And about that. Okay. I'm sure we all know about Kunle. Kunle is that guy. Is your neighbor. Kunle told you some years ago to get into tech, and then Kunle went ahead and then probably learned data analytics. I'll learn some other tech skill, maybe blockchain analyst and all of that. Until now, Kunle has not landed a job. Wondering, you're doubting, is that learn the skill and not get a job? Why do I need to learn the skill? All right. And the reason why Kunle job is because he's missed the aspect of you landing a job in the tech ecosystem. And that's talking about the other 50%. First 50% are the technical skills, which of course will are the additional which we offer here at 10Alytics. So in addition to your live classes, you get to benefit immensely in terms of having your CV review sessions. So for your CV review sessions, you get to have a conversation with an experienced employability partner that shows you how to properly craft your CV on the job role that you're trying to apply for. Okay, so you get to see how you can, because one thing that, some persons do is that they tend to just copy and paste the CV. So you want to apply for 5 roles, you want to apply for 6 roles, you copy that same CV and then you send it to, you paste that on all the different job roles. A guilty of that. All right, remember that time where you just saw a job, just copied your CV and then you pasted it in there. All right. The thing about that is it doesn't work most times because each job role is unique of the other. All right. And in the CV review sessions, you
Hi everyone, please confirm that you can hear me. Please, you can confirm by dropping a yes or a no in the chat. Right, thank you very much. Just give me 1 minute to switch device.
All right. Thank you very much, Ebele, for that, for jumping in. So sorry about that, everyone. All right. Yeah. So the last thing I mentioned, okay, the last thing I mentioned. So what was the last thing you heard from me, Ebele? Just to clarify.
Okay, I think you're in the CV review session.
All right. So I was talking about, that you're going to get a session that shows you how to properly craft your CV to ensure that your CV passes through the applicant tracking system, which is a system that screens, CVs for different job roles. And then for the second session, which we offer, for the additional employability services, of course, is the LinkedIn optimization session. And I want to know, do we know what LinkedIn is all about? All right, because I don't want to assume. All right, so if we don't know, I might have to explain what LinkedIn is. So do we know what LinkedIn is all about? Have we ever heard of LinkedIn? All right, so have we ever heard about LinkedIn? So I can see some yes. All right, fantastic. So that shows that we know about LinkedIn. Now, in the LinkedIn optimization session, you are going to be taught how to properly craft your profile. All right, because we've come to discover that LinkedIn is actually one of the sites which recruiters go to when they are looking for certain candidates to fill in a specific job role. All right, and I like to call LinkedIn Facebook for professionals. Okay, it's you heard it from me first. All right, so I like to call LinkedIn a Facebook for professionals. So in LinkedIn, we have so many professionals, including recruiters, and they go through profiles to see if they can find anyone that would be able to take on a specific job role. So in the LinkedIn optimization session, we show you how to arrange your CV, how to make your CV like nectar for the honeybees. So the honeybees being the recruiters now, and then your LinkedIn profile is going to be like nectar. All right. We show you how to properly place your projects in your LinkedIn, how to properly rewrite your about section. All right. The different things you need to do. We show you how to receive emails, whereby you're getting mails constantly on different job roles that you would be a perfect fit for. Not just random job roles, but roles that you have a very, very high chance of landing if you apply. All right. So you get to learn all of that in the LinkedIn optimization session. Now, for the third session, that's the Upwork optimization. Upwork optimization Upwork is not as popular as LinkedIn, but Upwork is what most freelancers use. So let's say you are interested in freelancing, that is, you want to work at your own pace. You don't really like the 9 to 5. Okay, so that's the traditional work culture. So you want to maybe work for 2 hours, go to bed, work on contracts. Okay, Upwork is for you. Upwork is a freelancing site where you get to land freelance roles. All right. Now, Upwork is somewhat complex, somewhat. And why did I say that? Because Upwork utilizes a currency system known as the Connect. Okay, it utilizes a currency system known as what? The Connect. Now, some persons think that the more connects you spend, the more likely you are to be selected for a job role in Upwork, on Upwork rather. But that's not really the case. All right, that's not really the case. So in this session, you'll be shown and you'll be taught how to properly craft your Upwork profile, how to the wisest way to utilize your Connect, all right, to ensure that but you are getting maximum value, all right, which will help you in landing those freelance roles. That's what the Upwork optimization session is all about. And you also get to learn about the navigating job market. So let's say you to the UK or you just moved to Canada. Now, at first, you might really not be you might really not be familiar with the entire market of that particular country. You might not know the things to do to ensure that you land a job. And that's what navigating the job market is all about. We bring in professionals that have done these things. We bring in professionals that have gotten these roles, that have made mistakes, of course. All right. So they tell you the mistakes they made, how you can avoid making those mistakes. They tell you the things they did right and how you can ensure you do those things right as well to ensure that you get these jobs at a faster rate. All right, more than them. So we show you the way the job market works in different parts of the world. That's what the navigating the job market is all about. And now, so you've gone through your CV, your CV has been properly crafted, your LinkedIn is looking top notch, your Upwork, fantastic, you know how to navigate the job market. Those 4 things, you've utilized them, and now you've opened up the door. Okay, so all of these first 4 rows, these first 4 sessions are to help you get through the door. Okay, now you've gotten through the door, you've been called for an interview, so your CV has faced through, you've been called for an interview by the recruiters. Now you get to the interview and you're fidgeting, you don't know what to say. If that's the case, that would put a damping on all the efforts you've made so far in getting to that spot, in getting to that interview room. And that is why we have the job and interview preparation session, whereby once you get that job, once you get that interview call, so you've been sent a mail that, oh, why don't you come over for an interview? Okay, now you get to book a session with us and we prep you for the interview. We tell you things you should expect. We tell you the appropriate ways to answer questions. We show you how to, so maybe you've been told, you've been asked, so what salary are you expecting? We tell you the appropriate way to answer questions like that in order to ensure that now that you've gotten through the door, you end up getting that role. That's the reason for the job and interview preparation session. And we also give recommendation and reference letter to each and every one of our participants, because many companies would like to get words from your previous employers to know if you are really who you say you are. And one special thing that we offer to all our participants is that as soon as you register, you automatically become an employee with 10Alytics. So in your LinkedIn, this will also be shown in the LinkedIn optimization session, of course. So in your LinkedIn profile, you get to put something like data analytics consultant with 10Alytics. All right. So that's if you are in the data analytics program. All right. So with that, when you are in the interview, you're not saying things like, oh, I just learned I just learned data analytics, but rather you're speaking from a point of experience. You're saying, oh, I worked with 10Alytics on this particular project, utilizing my data analytics skills. All right. And of course, the recruiters would want to confirm if what you are saying is true. And they reach out to us asking for a reference letter. And of course, as long as you are a participant of with 10Alytics or even an alumnus, you are sure of getting a fantastic reference letter from us. All right. Moving on, we also have the weekly mentorship sessions. The weekly mentorship sessions are meant to mentor you, to tell you that, oh, maybe you've been applying for different roles, but you are not really getting called back. All right. And you are feeling dampened, you are feeling frustrated that, oh, what do I even need to do to ensure that I get into the tech ecosystem? The weekly mentorship sessions are meant to tell you that, oh, don't worry. Rejections often happen to the best of us. We take a look at what it is that you might have been doing wrong, and then we provide you with what you should do to ensure that you're not making the same mistakes that you made previously. All right, you get to learn things about such as the STAR and the SIT approach, which are ways that you should properly answer interview questions. You get to learn all of that in the weekly mentorship sessions every week. And of course, we also offer on-the-job support. You get the job, all right? All of these sessions are been made to ensure that you get the job. So you get the job. Now, it's the first week, so you've resumed. And then you're given a task. And because it's your first time doing this in a real life scenario, what to do. Now, you can always reach out to us and say, oh, so I have this project. Is there something, I have this project, but I'm confused as to how to go about it. Please, could you give me guidance? All right, can you tell me what I should do? And of course, we provide you with all that is needed to ensure that you are able to go ahead and smash that project. All right, and of course, something we implemented this year, all right, is that as soon as you join the program, 1 month after completing the program, you are guaranteed of a job interview 1 month after completing the program. All right. So that's our promise to you. As you can read from the slides. All right. It says our promise to you. That's something that we are promising you. All right. Now, all of these are the other 50%. So you have the first 50%, which is the technical skills, where you learn how to actually do the job. And then you are given the other 50%, which provides you with how to get through the door. Because that's the reason Kunle is still at home at the moment, armed with these technical skills, but he hasn't gotten the job as well. All right. So that's one thing we offer here at 10Alytics. Okay. And some new initiatives that we have planned for this year that we actually kickstarted already is we have the Body Mentorship Hub. The Body Mentorship is where you get to meet different past alumni that have gone through the program, the challenges they faced, how they're able to succeed. You get to have a one-on-one discussion with them. All right. So we bring in past persons that have gone through the program. Of course, you would still be in the program. So they mentor you, they show you things that you should do, just ensuring that you do not make the same mistakes as them, and that what they did to succeed in the industry that you're told as well, to ensure that you succeed as well, that you don't end up being like Kunle. Okay. All right. Next, we have the internship experience. The internship experience for the year 2024 has been enhanced, fully packed. All right. For example, in the business analysis program, for the internship, you are going to be working on, we are going to be working for a company in building a web development application. Of course, as the business analyst, you are not going to be building it. All right. You are more like the middleman to ensure that the application gets built the way that the application gets built the way the CEOs, the way the CFOs, and all the OOs, all right, that is actually built the way they want it to be. All right. So you get to work on this project. You get to collaborate with the developer. You have different persons on the call. Very, very extensive and immersive. All right. So enhanced internship experience is one of the things that we have for the year 2024. And of course, we are also working on partnering with different recruitment agencies in the UK, Canada, the US, and other parts of the world, such as Hales Recruitment, Heavy Nash, and a couple of others. And the reason why we are doing all of this is for you. The reason why we are doing all of this is to ensure that as soon as you are done with the program, that you land that role. All right. So we are looking to recommend our participants that went through the program for potential job roles. These are the new initiatives for 2024, and of course, it's very, very exciting. And all of these things you are getting for no extra cost. All right. No what? Extra cost. So the next is All right, so our next course is beginning in March 2nd. That's March 2nd, which is just a few weeks from now. That's our next course. So I'm sure you are excited to join. I've been taking a look at the different projects that have been presented at the start of the session, and even from the additional benefits that you're looking to get, when you do register for the program. So the next course begins 2nd of March, which is the first Saturday of the month of March. Okay, and this is the payment plan. All right. So for the data analytics, the business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, and data science. All right. The full amount is $750, which is actually 625 pounds. All right. So we actually running a discounted amount. All right, so this is the full amount. So as you can take a look at my screen, you see this is the full amount at the moment, but we do have a discounted amount for the first 20 persons. I actually don't think it's still up to 20 persons. So I think this is actually 10 now. All right. So because at the start of the month, that's for the month of February, it was actually for the first 20 persons, but we've been having numerous persons registering. All right. So this, of course, it's less than 20 now, so you want to hurry up. So we have a discount for the for the first 20 persons, which of course that's running already, and the discounted amounts for these 5 programs that's talking about data analytics, business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, and data science. The discounted amount is $600. All right, and you can make this in full. You can make the payment in full. But if you are looking to maybe you want to make a part payment, first of all right, you can make payments in 2 installments. All right, so you can make the first payment for a sum of $450, and then the second payment for $150. Okay, and of course we have the payments in pounds, so you can make a first payment of £275 and a second payment of £125. And for the data engineering and the cybersecurity program, the discounted amount is $750, equivalent to £625. And you can also make payments in 2 installments, which is the first payment is $550. That's for those of us paying in dollars, and then the second payment is the second installment is $200. And for the pounds, first payment £460, and then the second payment is £165. Okay, and then for the Scrum Master, okay, so we have a program called Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is literally a project it's a project management program, but not just like the project management programs you know about. No, it's a project management program that is heavy on agile methodologies, which is what every company utilizes nowadays. All right, that's what every company uses nowadays. So Scrum Masters are very, very heavy on demand. All right, you can just go online, search for Scrum Master roles, and of course you'll be able to confirm, what I just said. And the discounted amount for the Scrum Master is $250. All right, and you can make 2 payments. All right, that's if you are not able to make the complete payments at a go. So you can make payments in 2 installments. The first installment being $250, and the second installment being $100. And for those of us paying in pounds, so the discounted amount is £295. The first installment is £200, and then the second installment is £95. All right. Now, I'm sure my colleagues would send in the link. All right, of course. So the link is already on the chat box. So for those of us that might be paying in other currencies, maybe for those of us in Nigeria that be paying with Naira, so no problem. All you need to do is to just click on the link, and you see the different payment. You see the payment link, so you'll be able to make payments in any currency depending on where you are in the world at the moment. Okay, and so of course, like I mentioned, discount is for the first 20 persons, and this 20 persons, of course, that's going down already. So even on the call, persons are already registering for the program. So you want to ensure that you jump on the discounts to ensure that we don't have a situation whereby later on you are reaching out and saying, oh, please, is the discount still available? Let's say maybe 2 days to the program, and you're saying, oh, I want to make payments, is the discount available? And at that time it might be too late. All right, so you want to ensure you hopping on the discount even at this moment. All right. So we also have more testimonials. Of course, you're going to be getting the slides later on. So when you get the slides, you can take a look at the different testimonials. So we have Aduke Fayemi, and you can listen to what she has to say. We have Akintola, different persons. Okay, it's so many testimonials. You know, from people that we've helped over the years. All right, to transition from the classroom into their first tech role. All right. So I think we're going to be taking questions now. So if you know you have a question for me, you can just go ahead and use the raise hand icon, and I'll call on you to ask your question. So we just take a few questions and we call it a day. All right. So while I wait for questions.
Okay. I think I would just have to probably unmute them so that they'll be able to ask their question. Or if you want to speak, you can have your hand raised, then I can unmute you.
Yes. So if you know you have a question, just use the raise hand icon and we'll give you permission to unmute. All right. So Ayomibo is asking, can we have payments in 3 installments? All right. So if you want to have payment, if you maybe you want to make payment in more than 2 installments, you can always reach out to us and then we take a look at what we can do for you. So Elijah just sent in an email. So just please send an email to that email address and we'll see how we can help you out. All right. So please, if you know you have a question, just go ahead to ask. Why try to take us through the payments, what the payments portal looks like for those of us that might be wondering. Right, so just bring this up now. So of course, if you have a question, you can just go ahead to ask your question. So I'll just show us what the classroom looks like. So you're going to be once you register for the program, you're going to get a link to join the classroom where you get to see all of the materials. All right. So that's your materials, your recording. You get to see all it's literally like your own bookshelf that contains everything that you need, for the program. So Temi has a question. Is it possible to provide the bank account for transfer? All right, so you have to use the link. Okay, so from the payment link, so you'll be able to find. So I'll try taking us through that very, very soon. But from the link, that's where you make all payments. So it's very, very easy, very, very easy to go through. All right, but before we go into that, I would just like to show us what the classroom looks like. All right, so this is for so if you have a question, if you know you would like to speak, okay, just use the raise hand icon and we'll give you permission to to unmute and to ask your question. All right. So this is what the classroom looks like. So this for the business analysis, the EU section. So we have the EU and the NA, basically morning and evening classes for taking into account the the different time zones. So this is the cohort that began in the month of February, and you can see what the classroom looks like. So you get to have your welcome kit, and you get to see how you can navigate through the classroom. That's as soon as you join the classroom, you get to have all of these, and then you can see the different installations. All right, that the different the softwares are going to be using for the class. We have the Microsoft Office, the Power BI for Windows and for Mac users, and the PostgreSQL. So you get to see how you can install these applications. You get provided the link. Everything is very easy peasy. Okay, and this is the first class they had on Excel. All right, and I'll just show you what the class material looks like. All right, so this is the case study. All right, so just a moment. All right, so this is the case study that they worked on. So you can see it's a real life case study. There's an actual problem with the organization, and the business analyst, of course, the business analyst in training, they are learning how to utilize Excel in solving this business problem. Not just learning Excel, but learning how to use Excel to solve real life problems. And there are numerous case studies, similar to this, very, very numerous. All right. So tell me, I see your hand this way. So I will ask you to unmute, so you can go ahead to ask your question. So tell me, you can go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. I said in the chat that I've been struggling to pay for this. Actually, it's a gift, and the person paying for me has been trying since over an hour ago, and the person has not been able to pay. There is a notification message coming up, denied by fraud system. And although you're making it easy with the link you're putting up on the chat, but actually it's not easy because the person has been struggling since over an hour ago. Person tried with different medium, GT Bank and so on, but it's still saying the same thing, denied by fraud system. So I'm not sure if you want to provide the Nigerian bank account to make payments easier than the link you're sharing with us. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I think I will take that. Don't worry, I will get you sorted out. You're the one I'm chatting with, right?
All right, Temi. So Ibele is going to handle all of that to ensure that you have a seamless payment. Okay, so should definitely take you up on that. So I think you guys are already having a discussion now. So Ibele, do you want to confirm if you are in discourse with Temi? So are you there, Ibele? All right, so tell me, you might just want to reach out to any one of us. I'm sure you're in the WhatsApp group, okay? So just reach out to any of the admins, and we will help you out, with the payments to ensure everything goes fine for you. All right, so I hope you got that, Temi. Just to confirm, am I clear? Can you guys hear me? All right. Thank you very much. So I can see I have some questions on the chat. So Alawa is asking, please, I don't have any knowledge about the IT course, even with computers. What can I do? Okay, so there's no problem. As long as you, so of course, some basic knowledge of, utilizing like how to turn on and turn off your PC, all right? And how to open up application is all that is needed. in terms of the actual coursework, in terms of the actual programs that you're going to be learning, you don't need to have any knowledge. And when I mean any knowledge, I mean any knowledge. You don't need to have a background knowledge. You don't need to have, I've done it before. You don't even need to know what the meaning of the program you registered for is, okay? Because the program has been structured in a way that it starts from the basics. So you learn all the nitty-gritties, you learn all of those little bits, those information from the basic, and then you build up to the advanced level. All right. So as long as you have you are willing to learn, that's all that's needed from you. Okay. So you don't need to worry about that. All right. So you really don't need to worry about that. You will definitely be able to succeed in any program you don't decide to go for a Lawa. All right. So I don't think I have any other question. So any other question for me? All right then. So seems no other question. All right. So thank you very much everyone for joining in the call. All right. So Laura, so you're asking what's the difference between cybersecurity and data engineering? All right. So a data engineer is the person or the professional responsible for ensuring that data is available to every other person that needs that data, to every other career path that needs that data. So I'm sure you joined in the session and you heard about the data analytics, the data science. You saw what these guys were able to do using data. That data needs to come from somewhere. All right. The data engineer is the one that provides that data. A very, very good example is they are like the plumber. And just like the way you have a water source, you have a place where water is coming from. But you need to distribute that water to different, maybe to the kitchen, maybe to the bathroom, to different parts of the house. You call a plumber and the plumber connects pipes from the water source to the different sections in the house. All right. So the plumber is getting the water from the water source to these different sections, just like the way the data engineer is getting the data from the data source to the different sections. That's the data analytics, the data scientist, and every other person that needs the data. That's what the data engineer does, in charge of getting this data to the places where it needs to be. And the cybersecurity, these professionals, they are in charge of protecting that data, protecting business networks. Lawal, I want to ask, have you ever, maybe you registered for an application and then when you tried creating an account, so maybe you were told to work with the, let's say you were told to create an account using your Google, your email address. And then when you tried doing that, you got a prompt from Gmail saying, are you sure you want to share your data with these people? Are you sure you want to go ahead? All right. So have you ever seen something like that, Flower? Okay. So Laura, have you ever seen something like that? I just want to know if you're able to if you're able to follow along with this analogy. Okay. So you're trying to register for an application and then you get a prompt saying, are you sure you want to share data? All right, fantastic. So you've seen something like that. Now, that is cybersecurity. That is cybersecurity. What is happening there is that they want to confirm that you actually want to give these people access to your data before they go ahead and give access. So cybersecurity is you ensuring that threats coming out from different places, like unauthorized individuals that are trying to get access to the company's data, that are trying to hack into the company's network. You are trying to prevent that, all right, to secure the company's resources. That is what a cybersecurity does. As you can see from the name, cyber, which is talking about the internet, all right, security, which is talking about being secured, of course. So you are securing internet resources, securing data resources of a particular company. All right, so that's the difference between a data engineer and a cybersecurity analyst. All right, so yeah, so I think you asked me that question. So you said, is the payment included with the exams like CompTIA A+? All right, so just a moment, let's see if I can get the payment portal. All right, so the CompTIA A+, of course, it's the certification exam, for the cybersecurity. Now, if you do intend to go for something like that, so you actually want to take an exam after you're done with the program to receive a certification, which of course is really not necessary in the tech world. Okay, so you can get a job without even having any certificate. All right, like maybe having something like Google Analytics or even CBAB when you're talking about Canadian business analyst. That's not necessary. All right, but if that's what you intend to do, so our programs have been structured in a way that we take let's say we take a look at this curriculums, for these certification exams, and then we implement it into the program. So even when you're done with learning the program, you would be able to go ahead and take these exams. All right. So the cybersecurity program is structured on those curriculums that are needed for you to get, for you to be able to take those kind of certificate examinations. All right. So you won't be taking the exam with us. All right, you won't be taking the exam with us if that's what you want to do. You would, of course, have to take the exam somewhere else. But when you register for the program with us, we'll essentially be preparing you for the that's the CompTIA A+. All right, so I hope I answered your question, Alawa. Okay, so any other question for me? Does any other person have a question? So you can use the raise hand icon, or you can send in your question to the chat box. All right, so I would like to show us what the payments portal looks like very, very quickly. So we have a feel of, for those of us that are about to make payments, so you know what to expect. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and share my screen so we get to take a look at it. All right, so as soon as you click on that link that was sent into the chat box, that's the main start link, you're going to be taken to this page. All right, and you can see it with 10Alytics Enrollment Center. All right, so once you scroll down, you can take a look at the different program brochures. Maybe you want to learn more about the program. Okay, so you want to know, let's say you want to know the different tools you're going to be learning. You want to know what the program is about. You can click on this to get access to all of the program brochures. Okay, and this is the price list. So you get to see the price list for the different programs. For those of us paying in dollars, pounds, in Canadian dollars, or in naira, here's the price list. And don't forget, the discounted amount is just for the first 20 persons, and slots are filling fast. All right. This is where you get to upload your receipt. So let's say you've made payments, all right, and then you need to send in a proof of payment. You need to send in a payment confirmation. So you come over to this point, and then you click on this upload your receipt, which will take you to a form. All right, so to take you to a form. Now, in this form, you get to fill in the form. You get to insert your email. You insert the type of payment you made. Of course, we can go to the next session. So let's just insert something at this point now. Let's say sir, 10Alytics. Okay, so a payment method. So let's say I made the initial payments. Okay, so I made the first, the first installment. All right. So as soon as you do that, you get to see, it asks for your welcome kit. So it's telling you that you're going to be getting, your welcome kit soon. So you can select yes. You move to the next. All right. You get to fill in your registration details, your first name, your last name, your registration email, your gender, and a couple of other information. All right, and then in the next page, you get to upload your receipt, which is very, very important. Okay, so as soon as you do all of that, all you need now to do is just to relax, and then we'll send you a confirmation email and an email containing your welcome kit to properly onboard you into the program. All right, and here is the for those of us that might want to make payments utilizing the our UK account. So this is the UK account number, so you can utilize this, or for the initial payment. So if you don't want to go through the bank notes, that's for the British accounts, you can make payments utilizing cards transfer. So we have the Scrum Master, the data analytics, the business analysis, all of the different programs. So you click on any of them, all right? And then as soon as you do that, so let's say I want to make payments for business analysis, for example. All right, so as soon as this loads up, what we're going to see is you're going to be asked for your card details. You're going to be shown the amount. You're going to get to so just a moment. So I think it's coming up now. Okay, so I can see I have some questions on the chat box. Okay, so Rita, as long as you filled in the attendance, the attendance form that we sent in earlier, you would definitely be getting the recording and access to the slides. Okay, so Ayomibo, you asked, is the cybersecurity course only for SOC analyst, or it entails GRC too? Okay, so the cybersecurity course is actually for it's actually for the SOC. So the SOC analyst, of course, is a professional who deals with companies, cyber security and security operations. So that's actually what we are focusing on. But you are also going to be learning about the GRC. All right, that's the GRC analyst, a little bit about that. But what we are mostly involved in is the network side of things. That's for you to learn how to properly safeguard companies' networks. All right. So Immobile. All right. So sorry if I didn't pronounce your name properly. So you mentioned, are there plans of flexibility with lectures? All right. So the way the lectures work, all right. So the way the lectures work is you get to so for different programs, we have the NA and the EU, all right, such as the business analysis and the data analytics. So if it's basically like your morning and your evening classes, all right. So if you are not going to be available for the morning classes, which actually is from 9 to, so if for West African time, that's 11 to 2 p.m. and then for UK time, that's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you're not going to be available for that, you can always go for the evening classes, which is from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's West African time. Or for UK, that's be 5 p.m. to so sorry, for West African time, that's 6 to 9, and then for the UK time, that is 5 to 8. All right. So yes, you can pay in error. Just utilize the Paystack link. So as you can see from my screen, so this is what the payment plan looks like. So you can see I have the payment price. So it dictates your location. You can select the different cards that you want. So depending on your card, depending on your location, you get to see the currency system available for you. So it doesn't matter the part of the world you are in, you will definitely be able to make payments. Okay. So yeah, so this is what the payments platform looks like. So I just wanted to give us a quick snippet as to all of that, so we know what we are expecting when we do click on that. All right, so there you asked, sorry, I missed where to check to click on to read on the programs. So as soon as you just click on the link, you are going to see get access to program vouchers, you're just going to see the link there. It's like an orange button. All right. So once you click on that, we have access to all of the vouchers. Okay. And just to expand on the the question Ayomide asked, or Ayomibo asked about the cybersecurity cost. So like I mentioned, we are solely focused on protecting networks. That's what the course is focused on. That's talking about the SOC analyst. So once you take a look at the vouchers, Ayomide, you definitely get a better understanding of what the cybersecurity course offers. All right. So I think, any other questions, or can we call it a day? All right then. So thank you everyone for joining the call, and I hope to see you in class on come March 2nd. Don't forget the discount is just for the first 20 persons. So you want to ensure you hop on that. You want to ensure that you register now so you get access to the discounts. And like I said, I hope I see you all in class. Bye everyone.